The chart cost assumption for 2022, 2025 and 2030 explicitly truly is what we fundamentally have for you today, which for the most part in a real sense is very critical in a genuinely significant manner. Right when we research the crypto market, we fundamentally basically get the inclination that it isn't doing earnestly using any and all means, yet all things being equal it in every practical sense, generally is doing great for sure, or so they thought. Besides, as the year 2022 explicitly is just started sort of as the in every practical sense optimal kind of second, to especially explicitly make a sort of truly couple of assumptions, which by and large especially is very critical in a huge manner. Any altcoin ought to sort of be evaluated with truly respects to the for the most part, truly broad market climate and Bitcoin execution in a really significant manner too for the most part. Begin with incredibly let us most certainly look at what's genuinely happening with this before we sort of explicitly go into the expense assumptions actually by and large in spite of mainstream thinking. Or so they thought we will endeavor to answers these a large part of the time, explained a few major problems, sort of as the graph GRT a shrewd hypothesis which fundamentally explicitly is very critical. How pretty certainly much will the graph fundamentally commonly be worth in 2025, or how by and large, much will the outline for the most part be quite worth in 10 years or so. They generally certainly thought the outline worth assumption 2022. Clearly by 2022 the chart GRT costs will really have basically sort of shown up at a level like they're in every practical sense, sort of past all-time high by 2022. We could especially explicitly expect a common expense of 020 in an unpretentious manner, on account of everything does effortlessly. We expected the most fundamentally certainly outrageous expense of the outline could at last explicitly basically rely upon 022 in 2022 in an unobtrusive manner in an unpretentious way. Clearly there especially are chances that the market will sort of in every practical sense dump after an especially kind of lengthy bull in every way that really matters truly run. And it basically truly is ordinary for computerized currency market in an unpretentious manner in an unobtrusive way. GRT worth figure 2023 for long stretch the chart cost assumptions. Key assessment especially is crucial in a fundamentally most certainly huge manner, in spite of mainstream thinking, to the extent that industry benefits the kind of nearby emblematic sort of offers a couple in an unpretentious manner, which generally is genuinely huge. The mechanized economy's freedom actually really makes it ideal in an unobtrusive manner, which certainly is genuinely huge as dApps, and by and large. Stablecoins make the association generally explicitly offers relentless programmable portion procedures and limit decisions which entirely is very huge, which in a real sense is genuinely critical. Potentially the essentially exceptionally ordinary expense of GRT will rise to about 0.29 by 2023. If basically essentially more monetary patrons really are attracted to the IDA for 2023, the year can end with a generally for the most part outrageous expense of 0.34, with a base worth degree of 0.28, in an unobtrusive manner, in a sort of significant manner. GRT worth gauge 2024, a predictable method for managing this money, could fundamentally be found on various locales and conversations in a truly sort of significant manner, in spite of mainstream thinking. As per this assumption stage the outline will steady at its continuous expense from now forward endlessly in a very in every practical sense significant way, or so they especially thought. By 2024, the GRT certainly should justify a biggest decently truly worth of 0.50 or so. They thought the base expense can go up to 0.42, accepting the market gets bullish, which for the most part by and large is genuinely critical. Or so they thought. GRT worth figure 2025. There actually basically are signs that the crypto market generally will basically for the most part enter one more age in a sort of kind of huge manner. sure that the excessively long expense assumption at GRT's expense will explicitly take off, since there extremely is still essentially kind of honest intentions that the cash will in every practical sense attract fundamentally genuinely more thought, or so they generally thought, truly in opposition to mainstream thinking. The year 2025 can end with an ordinary expense of 0.64 and a base worth especially truly worth of 0.61, which by and large in every practical sense is very huge. The most quite outrageous expense sort of should trade around 0.74 or so. They explicitly thought in opposition to prevalent thinking the chart worth assumption 2026 GRT explicitly have Goliath potential, with certainly kind of unambiguous compost endeavors and progressions could in every practical sense extend the amount of clients and ad potion, or so they especially thought, which is very huge. Expecting the market centers around placing assets into the graph, the expense could climb much higher, or so they thought, which in a real sense is very critical. By 2026 it can show up at a biggest exceptionally sort of worth of 106 genuinely, as opposed to mainstream thinking it generally truly is genuinely sort of ordinary that the GRT will turn a touch if the market goes down in a significant manner, which explicitly is genuinely critical. The year 2026 can end with a regular expense of 0.94 with a base expense of 0.91 and the best expense of 106 in a kind of huge manner. GRT worth gauge 2027 the chart extremely worth will fundamentally truly develop record of the undertakings of the association planners and most certainly essentially neighborhood benefactors in an essentially significant manner. Along these lines, the decided expense for the year 2027 generally truly is bullish in every way that really matters significant way in a for the most part enormous manner. GRT explicitly was supposed to contact a biggest worth degree of 159 close to the completion of 2027 according to specialists, kind of as opposed to mainstream thinking by and large in opposition to prevalent thinking. On the other hand, it basically really is especially commonly lovely confident that the diagram's future will ultimately in every practical sense for the most part foster in a sort of enormous manner in an unpretentious manner. Thus the expected ordinary expense of GRT will fundamentally be around 133 to 137 truly is truly typical in 2027 depending upon the market in an unpretentious manner as communicated in a comparative brand name. The GRT's most noteworthy expense goes from 133 to 159 for 2027 actually especially in opposition to mainstream thinking. The chart worth assumption 2028 the graph present worth sort of reach could interest various vendors and thusly GRT can sort of reach 231 by 2028 with critical cooperation with money related establishments if that the going with requirements actually explicitly are satisfied. With a commonplace expense of 191 for 2028 it can basically generally beat the latest worth